Objection!
Now then, I assume you're the real Iris. Yes, I was just rescued from the sacred cavern. I must say, you and your twin sister are indeed identical from what I can see. In any case, it appears that everything has finally been cleared up. Mr. Godot, what happened to Dahlia Hawthorne? If you ask me, Your Honor, it looks like she went back to hell she came from. It seems that Misty Faye wasn't the only victim of this crime. Maya Faye, as well as the young Pearl, were also victims of this wicked and selfish plan. Yes, Your Honor. The tragedy of Medium Valley has finally come to an end, it seems. It would be best for everyone if no further attempt was made to channel that spirit again. Your Honor? Yes, what is it? About this whole spirit medium thing. It's almost weird how comfortable you seem to be with the concept now. Well, to be frank, my younger brother is quite judgmental. He often criticizes me for not studying hard enough. That's why I made a concerted effort to study up on the Karine channeling technique. Hey, isn't that the New Year's issue of Occult? I've seen quite a few things in my many years on the bench, and in all the time I've finally learned that this one, each case is different and takes place in its own world, if you will. In order to fully understand that world, first we have to immerse ourselves in it completely. And that's where my brother and I used to differ. Never thought of it that way. At any rate, it's time to pass judgment in the case of Iris of Hazakura Temple.
Objection!
Godot. You're a little too fast with that gavel, Your Honor. What do you mean by that, Mr. Godot? This trial, it isn't over yet. That's what he means. What? Wright, remember what Miss Evil Spirit said in her testimony? Huh? Dahlia's testimony? I caught up with her in the front of the stone lantern. Then I took out the dagger I got from the storeroom end. It's strange, but I don't have a clear memory of what happened after that. I think I was stabbed. By Godot. Just as Dahlia Hawthorne was about to attack Maya, she was stabbed and killed by someone. Yes, that's right. The person that was ultimately killed was the spirit medium that channeled Dahlia. At least you knew. No, Misty Faye, but who killed her? We still don't know who did it. I think I do. Unless someone else is found guilty, the accused is still on trial. You can't let her walk until there is evidence that proves her innocence. Ugh. No way. But this court isn't prepared for any further testimony. The prosecution is ready to call our final witness. Final witness? This one will clear up the whole mystery. The mystery of who killed Misty Faye. Indeed. Is it really alright, Mr. Prosecutor? Of course it's alright. Madame Attorney! Very well then. Who is this final witness? It is Godot, isn't it obvious? There's one person who saw the whole event and will put the final dagger in this case. Someone who saw the murder take place. The very person who saw her mother killed in front of her own eyes. Oh, Maya. You mean Maya? You can't. She can't testify after what she's been through. We need to find the truth. The prosecution calls Maya Faye to the witness stand. Very well. But first, we'll take a brief recess. We'll have to wait for Miss Faye to recover before summoning her. Once we receive the doctor's permission, we will proceed with the trial. Hey, Trite. I've got something to say to you, so listen up. What is it? I don't think much of you as a lawyer. It's always the same with you. You somehow manage to just squeak by without even a faint understanding of the case. Some beautiful one always seems to come dashing at the last minute to save you. You've got some nerve. But that's not going to happen this time. This time, you're going to have to do this by yourself. That's enough. This court is now in recess. February 10th, 2:56. Yeah, I think that was an error in the court image. I don't think she was supposed to be there. Unless it was Iris. It might have been Iris standing there. Because they brought her in, so no, it wasn't a mistake. Iris was there. So Dahlia was in Maya's body. She was pushed out. Maya fainted. They brought the real Iris in because she arrived at court because they had found her in the caverns on the island. And they took Maya out to rest. So the person we just saw in the court was Iris. Which is why she's standing in front of us right now. I'm truly sorry about everything. You were working so hard to defend me. But I was missing all day, and we didn't even have a chance to talk. She's right. When I met Iris at the training hall yesterday, they had already switched places, and Iris was inside the sacred cavern. I wanted to at least be in the defendant's box today to root you on. Well, it wasn't your fault. You were locked up this whole time. There's something more important than that, though. I have to ask you. Why did you help your sister out as much as you did? Huh? If you had tried to get help at the sacred cavern yesterday, you wouldn't have spent an entire day locked up in there. My sister. I felt sorry for her. She was abandoned by our mother and never got any love from our father either. Yes, but it was the same for you too, wasn't it? Yes, but at least I had Sister Bikini, who was like a mother to me. If only Dahlia had come with me to Hazakura Temple. I always loved her. Dahlia was always so smart, so strong. She never complained about anything. That's why I promised her that I would help her. Are you talking about the fake kidnapping case 11 years ago? Yes. I wanted to be useful to her in some way. But as usual, I was too cowardly. As the last minute, I ran away. Because of that, Dahlia's stepsister Valerie ended up... That was the case that wounded Mia so badly. But things didn't end there, of course. Some people suspected that my sister was involved in the murder. Some people? You must mean. Yes, 2 defense attorneys. Mia Fey and Diego Armando. After poisoning Mr. Armando, who was getting too close to learning the truth, Dahlia even tried to kill the person who had unknowingly hid the poison for her. Who's messaging me? My cousin. You. That's right. Iris. There's one more thing that I have to ask you. Yes, what is it? On the night of the murder, the person that cleaned up the corpse of the victim, Elise Dunim, was it really you? Yes, it was me. That night, after I rang the lights out bell, I went back to my room. At around 10:30, I received a call on my cell phone. There's a problem. Come to the inner temple right away. I got on the snowmobile and headed for the inner temple, but the path to the inner temple was cut off, right? Exactly. We can't just leave the body here. So you've got to do this exactly as I say, got it? Fling. It was me. I was the one that received her body. The murder weapon had been left in her body so she wouldn't bleed too much. The staff that Mystic Elise always held. Alright. That was not the right voice, but oh well. I knew it. So the actual murder weapon was the staff. Yes, that's right. I brought the body back to Hazakura Temple on the snowmobile. But why? Why did you alter the body? I didn't want anyone to know that the staff was the murder weapon. I didn't want to leave anything that would lead back to Misty Faye. So I dressed her in a robe and stabbed her with the Shishichido. I wiped the blood off the staff's blade and left it next to her on the ground. Iris, just tell me one last thing. Tell me the name of the person that called your cell phone the real killer. I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. I can't do that. I can't say who did it. I see. Defendant. Yes? The judge is calling you. He wants to see you in his chambers. He has some questions about Dahlia Hawthorne. All right. Well, then, I'll see you later. There's something I want to tell you. Oh, Okay, something she wants to tell me? So it's true, Iris cooperated with the real killer. Maybe even from the very beginning. Phoenix. Mia. How's Maya doing? Physically, I'm not too worried. She'll recover completely. But emotionally, she's been hurt very badly by this case. I see. You don't mean she's learned who Elise Dunham really was? Yes, I went to the medical office and talked with her. I told her everything I knew. But why? Maya is stronger than you think. I knew she could take it. All of it. What do you mean by that? I want you to figure that answer out by yourself. The trial is about to restart. The real killer, do you know who it is yet? Iris wouldn't tell me who called her, but still. I think that just maybe, I know who it was. That night, the victim was killed in the garden of the Inner Temple, and the criminal wasn't just there by accident. Which means that the killer knew of Dahlia's plan from the very beginning. And one more thing. The victim was moved to the Hazakura Temple aside by pendulum. In other words, the criminal couldn't cross the bridge. That means they were stuck at the Inner Temple side for almost an entire day. Exactly. So the culprit was someone that wasn't in Hazakura Temple the following day. That's as much help as I can give you. The rest of the battle is yours to win or lose. Okay, I've got it. Thank you, Mia. Finally, it's almost time to bring this case to an end. What exactly did Maya see anyway? And who was it that actually killed Misty Faye? Whoever it was, I have to prove. Me all by myself. Alright. Let's do this. As my hair is slowly drying and getting its little loose waves back. February 10th, 3:36 p.m. District Court. Now then, before we proceed any further, I'm going to announce the results of the tests we have performed earlier. Tests? Yes, tests. On the bloody dagger that was found stuck in the pine tree. Oh yeah, that. I totally forgot about it. That's the weapon that Maya Fey used when she fought with the victim. So what are the results? Was it the victim's blood, or... Due to time constraints, a full test wasn't possible. However, there's one thing we can say with certainty. The blood that was on this dagger was not the victim's blood. That's all. Now then, let's restart this trial. So it wasn't Misty's blood on the dagger. Then whose was it? I'm sure both the defendant and the prosecution know this, but this trial is rapidly coming to a close. Both sides will need to show some firm evidence with their claims. I understand, Your Honor. From what I've heard, the witness is dangerously weak, physically speaking. So let's finish this quick. Agreed. Very well, please bring in the last witness. A very sad, tired Maya. Witness, please tell us your name and profession. Maya Fey? My profession is, I'm the assistant manager of Wright & Co. Law Office. Maya. According to the magazine I have here, you're a spirit medium of the Karine channeling technique. I'm frightened. The Fey clan, I don't want any more to do with it. Oh, Maya. The pain the Fey bloodline causes must be unbearable. Very well. Now then, Miss Fey, when the event occurred, you were in the garden of the Inner Temple, and you witnessed the moment of Miss Elise Dunham's murder. Is this correct? I didn't see any...
Objection.
Straighten this up instant, young lady. Huh? Pick your head up and speak clearly. There's always time for crying later. But Your mother was killed right in front of your eyes. There's nothing you can do to change that fact. But there's something you can do. You can finish this. You've been watching the whole thing, right? You've seen the witnesses come out, and you've seen us squeeze the truth out of them. Now it's your turn. Let's hear your testimony. On the night of the crime, what exactly did you see happen? Witness, if you please. Yes, Your Honor. I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to get the loop right, and I can't because I'm still stuck with Iris. I was passing through the garden on the way to the spare prep room when it happened. I'm just gonna giggle my whole way through. Suddenly, there's someone struck me over the head. I stumbled, and I ended up against the stone lantern. I think I screamed, "Help me!" Then something warm splashed over me. That's when I lost consciousness. Whatever her voice was. So you were struck on the head. I suppose it must have been this staff. Maya, the person who hit you. It was Dahlia Hawthorne, wasn't it? I'm sorry, Nick. I couldn't see. I don't think I know who it was. Maya, think hard. Sorry, Nick, but I really couldn't. Can't say it was an especially good night for young ladies to be walking around alone. Seems that it will be hard to determine the criminal through testimony alone. Very well, Wright. Please begin your cross-examination. Maya, hang in there. She doesn't look well at all. Let's make it worse. Who else was in the inner temple side of that night? Well, Sister Bikini, of course. But I remember her saying that Iris would be coming later as well. On the day after the incident, Edgeworth met Bikini at Hasakota Temple. That means she couldn't be the criminal. So then, did Iris actually come later like she said? Well, let me think. She seems confused. It's probably because she's so tired. No, I'm sure I didn't see her. She must have come while I was preparing for the training. Who did it? Who hit you? Well, I didn't see who it was. I was hit from behind. You didn't see the person? But after that, your attacker was in front of you. How could you not see who it was? Oh, let me think for a sec. I'm sorry, I just can't remember. Maya's really having a hard time. What should I do? Come on, Maya. This isn't making sense. Why didn't you see this person? Well, let me think. It was, Oh yeah, that's right. It was dark, that's it. It's not good to have too much light around when someone is undergoing spiritual training. Come to think of it, there was earlier testimony of that effect as well. So it was dark in the garden on the night of the crime, which is why she didn't see her attacker. I thought maybe she was trying to hide something, but guess not. Judging by the testimony thus far, the identity of the attacker, the spirit that was channeled by Miss Elise Dunim, Dahlia Hawthorne. Well, please continue with your testimony. What happened after you were stuck on the head? I stumbled. Stone lantern. What happened afterwards? My attacker was in front of me, blocking off my escape. I think... You think? After getting hit like that, I was in a state of panic. There were only two things rolling around in my mind at the time. Well, now this is beginning to get interesting. So what were the two things rolling around in your mind? My name is Maya Fey. 1 + 1 = 2. You see, for some crazy reason, I was afraid I was going to lose my memory. I know it's odd considering my life was in danger, but that's how it was. This is definitely not her voice. I can't do it. I'm tired. That's not good at all. That's not odd at all. Your actions are understandable given the circumstances. So, what did you do then? I think I screamed, help me. You think you screamed, but you're not sure? Listen, I was a complete wreck. It was dark, and I couldn't see my attacker. Was it a man, a woman, an adult, a child? I had no idea. I was scared out of my wits. Believe me, my dear, I'm certain I would have soiled my robes. I thought this person might attack me, so Anyway, I'm pretty sure I screamed. I thought that it was my last hope. Wow, it's not like poor little Maya really was out of her mind. But I wonder what she meant by last hope. What do I do? Do I press her for more details? Wait a minute, Maya. What's this my last hope stuff? What do you mean by your last hope? No. That's what you said. You said my last hope. Huh? What? I said what? Look, you were facing an attacker that you couldn't see and you screamed, right? You screamed, help me. Yeah? But you testified that you screamed that because you thought it was your last hope. Oh, well, that's like... What do you call it when that happens? Maya's not doing so well up there. Oh, yeah. I thought that's right. remember now? I was facing my attacker, but that's not who I was screaming at. What did you just say? Yeah, that's right. It was the person behind my attacker that I was yelling at. That's who I was screaming to for help. Ah! What is it now? I messed up. I didn't mean to let that slip out. Huh? Witness, are you absolutely sure of what you're saying? Behind the attacker, there was another person? I am. Well, I meant to keep that part a secret. What have I done? It takes a ton of pressure to make a diamond. That's what I always say. Ton of pressure? You're in a court of law here. You can't make things up or try to hide things in this chamber. Witness, the information you just presented is vital to the case. I want you to add it to your testimony. A man? Who is this man? Well, you see, I couldn't see. You couldn't see? She's used this excuse twice now. You know, lantern light isn't very bright. Lantern light, did you say? There's a great big stone lantern in the garden. They always light it when an acolyte is there for training. Hey, you know what they say. Under the lantern, darkness reigns. So I could see the person that was further away, but not my attacker, who was closer. Plus, there weren't any other light sources in the garden at the time. Something warm splashed over me. Blood. You don't mean, was it... I didn't know what it was at the time, but I think it was probably blood. If she's saying that's when Miss Dunim, who was channeling Dahlia, was stabbed in the back by the killer? At that moment, I was paralyzed with fear. I was just sitting there in the snow. I'm sure blood got on everything around me. That's when I lost consciousness. So what happened next? I don't remember. How were you saved? You don't even remember that? No. I haven't got any idea. I really don't know what happened at all. That's too bad. I worked side by side with Maya for 2 years now. I can tell when she's trying to hide something about how she acts. And right now, I'm absolutely certain she's hiding something. It's not gravy! So there was a man standing behind your attacker. Yeah? That man, he's the killer. He stabbed her from behind. He's the one who killed Elise Dunim, otherwise known as Misty Faye, your mother. The killer? Maya, you know who killed your mother, don't you? But what is the meaning of this, Mr. Wright? To be frank, Your Honor, I think she is in shock and quite confused. That's why she hasn't noticed the huge problem with her testimony. What do you mean? What problem? Maya, on the night of the crime, the stone lantern was out of commission. Huh? What? It's true. There was no light anywhere in the garden that night. No! Order in the court. Mr. Godot, explain this. Add the pureness of milk to the perfect, clear darkness of coffee, sir. That is the state of the witness's mind right now. A cup of coffee... I don't know. Café au lait? Café au lait, thank you. Is that even legal? Mr. Tight's words are milk and you're the spoon, Your Honor. I'm a spoon? I'm no spoony bard, I'll have you know. You must have noticed it too, Trite. This witness's mental state is highly unstable right now. It's not hard to understand why she would make a little mistake like that. Sorry, but that's not going to cut it. What did you say? If there truly was no light in the garden, then there's a fatal contradiction in the witness's last bit of testimony. Nick! May I? Recall the witness's statement about her attacker. She said that she didn't know if it was a man or a woman, or an adult or a child. And yet, the witness could describe the person that was standing behind her attacker, and she quite clearly described him as a man. Ah. In other words, that would have to mean that Maya actually saw our mystery person, despite it being so dark that she couldn't see the face of her own attacker. No! Oh, dear. Oh, order. What in the world does this all mean, Mr. Wright? Are you saying Miss Faye saw the real killer under pitch black conditions?
Objection!
Try it. Do you have any idea what you're proposing? How could she have seen in the dark? There was no other light source in the scene. There are some things that you can Some things that you can only see in the dark, Mr. Godot. Maya, you did see who the killer was in the dark. And now, you're trying to cover for him. Cover? The man that killed your mother? There's only one conclusion I can draw from this. You know who this man is. Please, Nick. I don't know anything. Please, I'm begging you. Huh. You talk a good game, try it, but let's see if you can walk the walk. It was pitch black, so what could the witness see? I'm calling your bluff. No, Nick, don't. Please stop. Maya's dead set on protecting this guy. The man who murdered Maya's long-lost mother. But I can't let him get away with it. I'm a lawyer and officer of the court. I'm here to find the truth. All right, Mr. Wright. Time to show us what you've got. Who was this person that saw Miss Faye saw in the darkness? Because it was pitch black, Miss Faye was able to recognize the killer easily. I'm sure the court would like to see for itself how this is possible, yes? What? But how do you propose to show us something like that? It's easy. We just need to recreate the conditions of that night. Conditions? Your Honor, the defense officially requests that all the lights in this courtroom be turned off. What? This is... but it can't be. Huh.